Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested for domestic abuse, violence in the airport with her boyfriend, Christian Coleman. Charlamagne the God said on the Breakfast Club, though, there's a double standard when it comes to domestic violence with women and men. I think some people think that's a natural thing and understand it. What is the point you think he was trying to make, and like, how do you feel about it?
I think Charlamagne's right. It is a double standard because men shouldn't hit women. We've talked about it a number of times on this show. That's unacceptable. I've actually fought a dude that hit a woman I didn't even know. I ain't know neither of them. But I had to put my hands on him because I saw what happened. But also the woman, so to Charlamagne's point, women, don't be hitting on men either. Like, don't control your emotions enough that if you're upset, why do you need to slap? I've been kicked in the crotch a number of times. I've been swung on, but that's not acceptable. So when I get slapped or kicked in the crotch, I didn't go and retaliate against that woman because I don't believe in that.
Right.
I'll fight a grown man, but women don't hit men either. So you do not want to get hit. Don't get hit. I tell my kids all the time, don't touch people. If it's not in a pleasant hug or a gentle, nice way, don't touch anybody else because that's going to result in something negative. So yeah, men should not hit women flat out. It pisses me off. Women should not hit men flat out. That pisses me off. So just keep your hands to yourself. That's what I would say. Keep your hands to yourself.
I have a question. Do you think the amount of times you've been kicked in the crotch or slapped is about women or is about your behavior?
It was a reaction to something I did.
Yeah.
But I still shouldn't have got kicked in the goodies. Think about that. If I upset you in a relationship, there's no reason to kick me in the goodies. Like, be mad at me, yell at me, I deal with that. We could text, write letters, we could send telegrams, whatever. Like, we could talk this out, but there's no reason to touch me.
Really deep. What do you think about what Charlamagne said?
You know, I just want to commend Christian first and foremost, you know, for showing some, some restraint and, not responding and hitting her back. It takes a lot, oftentimes for someone to respond, in that fashion. So first and foremost, shout out to him, man, for just being a stand-up person. On the other side, I believe fame shouldn't allow you to be able to go out there and be flawed. No reason for that young lady to hit on him under any circumstances. And not even that, as popular as she is and as good as she's done in her comeback to kind of retain some, of her identity after the failed weed thing from a few years ago, she was on track to, go back and show the world who she is. And then this little incident kind of set her back a little bit, and if you're gonna have a spat, you can't do it out in public. I mean, she basically let the entire world into their, relationship in that one moment. And she expressed remorse and she was apologetic and all of that. That's cool, but it was too late. The damage was always done. And people are gonna always see you and paint you in this light for what they saw right there on the video. So the big part is, again, Charlamagne's right. It is a double standard. Under any circumstances, no one should put hands on anyone. Male hitting a woman hitting a man, under any circumstances, that should not be allowed. So, but more importantly, man, shout out to Christian for just handling that thing like a man should have. You should never, ever, ever hit a woman.
Yeah, Charlamagne saying that it's a double standard in domestic violence from women to men is true, and it should be. Just throughout history, men are freaking awful. Like it was the whole big thing back in the day, would a woman take a bear or be on the street with a man that they don't know? That's not because they want to portray men as a certain thing. It's because men have been a certain thing. It's also because of the level of physicality between the two genders, right? Now, it doesn't make it okay for a woman to hit a man. It doesn't make that something that we should allow to happen, but there is a difference in the things. I can see the difference. I know why there's a difference. And when you think about Sha'Carri Richardson and Christian Coleman, largely black women protect black men. Black women protect our culture. Largely, that's something that black women want spoken about, that we praise them for. But there are these situations as well that do become aggressive, that do become violent. They are not without fault. But what Sha'Carri Richardson has to think of, Sha'Carri Richardson has to think of, and any black woman that puts a black man in that position is what could be the next step for him.
Right.
In a world that doesn't value him, with authority figures who have had run-ins with unarmed black men that turn violent, you've now put him in a bad situation. And I think those are the thought processes that sometimes when you're young and you're immature, you don't process in the right way, whether it's the initial action or it's the second half of it where you're pleading with the police officers and saying his name in those ways and now involving him in the second tier of it. And so, like, the thing for me would be protect one another.
Right.
Both Christian Coleman, who did the right thing, you could tell he wasn't taught that you don't just retaliate or you don't retaliate. He was taught that you protect. He was taught that you keep your hands to yourself. He was taught that you love and that you support and you respect. And because of him, I believe this situation was able to be de-escalated. But for her, she has to be smarter, man. And though there's a double standard, that doesn't mean it's okay.